Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and I'm coming to you from Down Under today. This is our very first hopping along with the girls from the lands down under. That's right, Australia and New Zealand, we're getting together and we're creating a hop each week. This month we're focusing on our native animals. So thanks for joining us, and I hope something inspires. This is my layout today, and it is of a sulphur-crested cockatoo. I've collected a whole lot of things out of my stash that I'm going to create this layout from. And this cockatoo was sitting on a neighbour's fence, and it looked like he was sitting on the bike one day when I was leaving for work. Now, he is actually the main bird of the flock that hangs around my house. I live out in the bush and we have lots of native birds, but he's very regal and very noble. So I'm using all of these scraps here that I'm showing you to create this layout, which will showcase him in his fine form. This is a great collection of papers. They're all scraps except for the base and the cardstock. This one here that I'm going to use because I like the cockatoo that's on this side here, and I also will probably use some of the ephemera on that side. And I'm going to cut around the two corner pieces here, and I'm going to fussy cut them out to highlight the corners because they're like the Australian bush and the gum leaves and the wattle that these cockatoos like to eat and feed themselves from. So I've gone ahead and I've fussy cut those corners out, as I said. I've cut out the little bits of ephemera from that cut apart sheet from Uniquely Creative that I am going to pull all together on this layout. I have gutted out the cardstock, and that was where I was able to get my die cuts and mounting of my photo from. So I'm just going to put down this corner, and I'm not going to seal it all because I'm going to tuck things into it at the bottom. And I wanted to create like a bush feel to my layout to pay honour to this sulphur-crested cockatoo, and also for where I live. This cockatoo is often screeching outside. I also have a cockatoo in my house. That is my not so pride and joy, but our little treasure that we inherited one day from my school. He'd obviously been hand raised and was in the schoolyard and was being attacked by the others, so now we have Jack. But this cockatoo outside brings the flock around, and whenever we clean out Jack's cage, they all flock to take the seeds that are left out from when we've cleaned his cage. So I'm putting in some banner strips here using my strips, and I'm just layering them up. And the reason I also wanted to showcase this cockatoo is because when I was on a recent cruise and Vicky Booten was running the scrapbooking cruise, she was talking about when she went to a wildlife sanctuary and she'd been sitting there having a break, and she turned around and there was a cockatoo sitting on the fence next to her. And I'll always remember her Canadian accent as she explained that there was a freaking cockatoo next to her. So every time I see a cockatoo, it reminds me of Vicky Booten now, and I can't help myself but laugh by listening to her, and I hear her the way she said it that day. It was so funny. Her Canadian accent and the incredulity of it, that there was a cockatoo sitting next to her shoulder. So this layout is coming together slowly. I've called it Noble because this bird is a noble bird. He sits there very proudly. He watches his flock. He takes care of all of them, and you can see that he's very regal looking with his beautiful sulphur crest. I've got in there the white waratah as well, because where I live, the Wollondilly Shire, the white waratah is our native flower that is symbolic of our region. So I've tied that also into this layout here. I'm just building up the clusters with some native fauna die cuts. So I've got some gum leaves and the flowering gums. Flowering gums are what these birds peck the nuts and the flower pods from. And I'm using my Nuvo drops here in walnut colour to build up my triangle. And you can see that it goes around the photo, not all in the clusters, because I want the photo to be my main feature that your eye goes to. I'm drawing in a messy line for my border just to finish it off, and I've added in a little bingo card that says Free Spirit and a tag that says a little bit of wonderful, and that's exactly what it is. And you can see here how these clusters all complement. It's built up that feel of the bush around the layout. I've got some fishtail banners in there to add some layering in, and that's basically how this has come together. Nice and simple, nice and clean. So, as I said, the girls from the lands down under, that's Australia and New Zealand, we're coming together and we're going to provide you with some great layouts that are inspired by our countries. And this month we're looking at our animals. Please follow along on the playlist below. Look at what the girls are doing. Give us a like. It lets YouTube know that you are liking what we're doing. If there's anything here that you want to copy or that you'd like more detail about, leave me a comment below and I'll get back to you. But give us a thumbs up. Copy away anything that inspires. Remember, scrapping is about capturing the story, and this is the story of this sulphur-crested cockatoo and my memory of Vicky Burton. So, scrapping down under with me, Kathy from Kathy Loves to Scrap. The like to YouTube lets me know you want to see more of my content. I really do appreciate those of you that subscribe. Keep them coming, and thanks very much for everything that you do to make my YouTube channel keep coming up to the front. I am Kathy from Kathy Loves to Scrap. You can find me on Instagram where all my layouts end up. And thanks for watching. Happy scrapping until next time, and don't forget, join us on the hop.